is way darker than you think. I think Obsession is the recency bias definitely included, but I think Obsession is the best horror movie that I have ever seen. I think it wasn't cheap scares. And I too used the term scary in a different video, and a lot of people got mad because they were like, well, horror films don't have to be scary. And I'm like, well, I use scary and horror interchangeably. I know the definitions are different, but it's like this movie brought a level of discomfort that I had never experienced watching a movie before. Not to the level of like gore or grossness that Terrifier has, just pure like stress. This was the most stressful movie I think I've ever watched. The entire film, I was watching it like this in the movie theater because it's that disturbing in general. I'll turn it on. I'm gonna pause a lot to talk about specific scenes and just what I think about the movie in general. I hope Curry Barker is a director in 85 movies in the upcoming years because, my God, this was a great movie. And I think the actors were great, too. Is it gory? I wouldn't say that this movie's that gory outside of, spoiler alert, this whole thing's going to be a spoiler alert. Outside of the one scene where he's talking to Sarah in the car, in the whole scene, chat, the way they're angling it, you could tell that Nikki's just going to fucking run through the window and start smashing his head in. And that was the goriest scene. That was like Terrifier level gore. Smushed her face into a million pieces into a steering wheel. That was horrible. I didn't breathe. To put it in perspective, the reason I say Obsession is one of the scariest films I've seen isn't because of jump scares. It's just the pure horror aspect left me feeling so uneasy that I think I was genuinely breathing once every 30 seconds.
Brand new horror movie. In this video, we will be diving straight into its deeper themes.
And I love the simpleness of the idea of the wish, right? And the one wish Willow in the senses of like you have to word it perfectly, otherwise you get fucked over.
And symbolism. There will be spoilers. Let us begin. The premise is so simple, but what emerges from it is one of the deepest descents into darkness that I have ever witnessed on a cinema screen. Baron, or Bear as he's known, fancies Nikki.
He is the villain. He is the villain. We were talking about it and I was like, well, he's just an idiot. And then I was thinking back on it and I'm like, there's multiple instances where he could have fixed it and just didn't. And it's like the wish in premise is already fucked up. But like he could have just been like, I wish I had the confidence to ask Nikki out. But his dumbass goes, I wish Nikki loved me more than anything in the world. What a dork. And then while she's asleep, she's like fighting the demon and she's like aware and she's like, kill me. And then he just doesn't.
And he gets an opportunity to ask her out. His friend.
And it's also like, I know they needed this, so I'm not complaining about the movie. I think the movie, I have literally zero complaints about the film. I'm complaining that Bear is such a dork that he couldn't fucking come up with a better idea than he went to his friend and he goes, so let me give you the premise. Let me give you the rundown of the film. If you haven't seen the movie, but you don't care about spoilers. There's a character named Bear that moves to this city. One of his best friends is named Nikki. He really likes this girl named Nikki. He's liked this girl Nikki for a while, and he doesn't know how to tell her. And she ends up him, Sarah, Nikki. There's 2 girls and 2 guys. Bear and what's the other guy's name? It's Nikki and Sarah, and Bear and Ian. And all 4 of them work at the same, like, record shop. And they're all friends. They hang out. They go to the bar together. Nikki's quitting at this job. So Bear's going, I need to ask her out. And she ends up having her crystal earrings fucking fall down a drain or some shit. She loses them. So he goes to, like, this, you know, like a spiritual store that sells, like, jewelry and other items and candles and incense. And he wants to buy her something nice. And he ends up finding this one wish Willow that he plans on giving to her because he knows that she wants to be a writer. He doesn't think anything of it. They don't live in a supernatural world. This is just like wishful thinking, one wish Willow, you snap it and you think it'll, you know, come true. He's just being nice. So he drops her off and he plans on asking her out. And instead of asking her out, he folds like a chud. And she even says, if you like me, now's your time to tell me. And he says he doesn't like her like a fucking dork. Forgets to give her the Willow. And then he ends up just snapping it and wishing for her to love her or love him more than anybody else in that moment. She ends up walking away. Right after he snaps it, she is standing on her porch watching him and is immediately obsessed with him. Goes over his house that night, ends up sleeping with him. She watches him sleep, which is really weird. So things already in the first day take a dark turn, right? They are sleeping in the same room. He wakes up in bed and she's in the corner watching him sleep. And is she has an uncanny look on her face. She's crying. It's really creepy. Also, his cat just died. The next day he wakes up and she made a weird vigil in his kitchen of the dead cat on the ground with candles. And so she dug the cat out of the trash, which was weird that he put it in the trash. I don't know why he didn't bury his fucking cat. Can I say that? That was a side thing of Bear's a fucking weirdo. You're so sad about your cat being dead. Imagine throwing it in the trash. My dog dies and I just chuck it in the garbage. What the fuck? Bury it. Get it cremated. What the fuck? Just a weird way. He puts it in a trash bag. So she makes this vigil for him and it's really creepy. And he's Bear goes, Nikki, you can't do that. Already I'm going, this motherfucker's not realizing this girl's a psychopath because of his wish. So it takes him a while to understand. And she ends up she doesn't have work that day. It's her last week. She put in 2 weeks. Or they go to work together that day, actually. And she's really in love with him, just watching him all day. And Ian's what the fuck, man? She wasn't into you a day ago. He's I don't know, man. She just loves me now. It's I guess I did the fucking right thing. And Ian's you're taking advantage of her. She's clearly going through a drug problem.